So well friends, in the class we have seen different methods to find out the deflections. So out of these methods, unit load method is there, then moment area method is there, then strain energy method was also there. So now one more method we are going to study to find out the deflections of the beam as well as frame. So many times this method is used only for the beam, not for the frame. So this method is conjugate beam method. So before we will study with the conjugate beam method, we should know what is mean by conjugate beam. So what is conjugate beam? So conjugate beam is an imaginary beam with span same as that of original span. Load will be M upon EI diagram. So beam span will be same as that of original span. Load on the conjugate beam will be M upon EI diagram. So whatever M upon EI diagram will be there, so that area will be considered as a load on the conjugate beam. And shear force in the conjugate beam will be equal to slope in the real beam. And bending moment in the conjugate beam will be equal to deflection in the real beam. So what is our ultimate aim of this method? To find out the slope and deflection. So out of that, slope is there as well as deflection is there. So to find out the slope in real beam, you should know, you have to calculate the shear force in conjugate beam. To calculate the deflection in real beam, you have to calculate the bending moment in conjugate beam. So what is the definition of conjugate beam? So conjugate beam is the imaginary beam with span same as of original beam or real beam. Load will be M upon EI diagram. Shear force in the conjugate beam will be equal to slope in the real beam. Bending moment in the conjugate beam will be equal to deflection in the real beam. Now, when we will draw or when we will prepare the conjugate beam, you should know what will be the support condition in the conjugate beam and in the real beam. Okay, so there are some changes in the support condition. Span will be same as that of original beam, but there will be some changes in the support. So what are these? See, in real beam, beam support is, let us say, roller support. It will change. It will remain same as that of roller support in conjugate beam also. Then suppose in real beam hinge support is there, so hinge support will remain as a hinge. But in actual beam, in real beam support is fixed support. Then it will change as a free end. Means fixed end will be converted into free end. Similarly, a free end in real beam will be converted into fixed end. Then there is an internal hinge. So internal hinge will be converted into internal roller. Then internal roller will be converted into internal hinge. Okay. So these are the changes in support. Roller support will remain as a roller, hinge will remain as hinge, but fixed will be converted to free end, free end will be converted to a fixed end, internal hinge will be converted to internal roller, and internal roller support will be converted to internal hinge. So these are the changes in support conditions for the conjugate beam. Now suppose a cantilever beam is there with A as a fixed and B as a free end. Then this real beam will be converted into conjugate beam as this A is fixed end, so this will become free, and this B end is free end, this will become fixed. So here conjugate beam is prepared like this, where A become free and B is fixed. Now suppose similarly one more type of beam, let us say this is hinge and this is fixed. So this beam you have to convert into conjugate beam. So you have to prepare the conjugate beam for this one. So this hinge will remain as hinge and this fixed end will be converted to free. So this will be converted as like this. Okay. So now we are going to solve some examples based on this conjugate beam method. So we will find out the slope at different locations. We will find out the deflection at different locations of the beam. So now for that, what we have to do, what are the steps to be followed? in the conjugate beam method, I will elaborate here. So what is step number 1? So suppose a real beam, actual beam will be given to you and you have to find out the slope at any point in the beam or deflection at any point in the beam. So in that case, first step is to draw the bending moment diagram for the given beam. Draw the bending moment diagram for the given beam. That is the first step. Now suppose this is point load, this is your real beam, and you have to find out the slope at free end. So first step is to draw the bending moment diagram. So bending moment diagram for this one will become 10 into 1. So it is 10 kilonewton meter here. So this is your bending moment diagram. Next step is draw M upon EI diagram. M upon EI diagram. What is mean by M upon EI diagram? M upon EI diagram means you have to divide the coordinates of bending moment by EI, that is rigidity of beam. So now for this beam, rigidity is not given. Let us assume beam is uniform throughout the section. So this M upon diagram will become 10 divided by EI. So this is your M upon EI diagram, and this is your BMD. Now conjugate beam. Prepare the conjugate beam. Now prepare the conjugate beam. So what is conjugate beam? Conjugate beam is having same span as that of original. So span will remain same, 1 meter. Only support condition will change. Now the support A end is fixed, whereas B is free. So now this A will become free and B will become fixed. So this will be fixed here. Next, load. What will be the load on this beam? So load will be nothing but this M upon EI diagram. So this is your load on beam. Okay. Now this load or this diagram is triangular, means maximum intensity is 10 divided by EI at the free end, whereas 0 at the fixed end. So this is nothing but the uniformly varying load. This is nothing but the uniformly varying load. Now suppose you have to find out this is my conjugate beam. Okay. Now suppose I have to find out the slope at free end, means slope at B, theta at B. So theta at B means slope in original beam will be equal to shear force in conjugate beam. So theta B, slope at B will be equal to shear force at B in conjugate beam. So I will calculate the shear force at B in conjugate beam. So if I calculate the shear force at this location, I will get slope at this point. Suppose I want to calculate the deflection at B. So deflection in real beam at a section will be equal to bending moment at a section in conjugate beam. So bending moment B in conjugate beam will give you the value of deflection at B. Okay. So this is how the stepwise procedure. This is how the stepwise procedure to find out the slope as well as bending moment by using this conjugate beam method. In next lecture we will see some numericals and we will solve some numericals based on the previous year question papers, so that you will be able to understand the concept of a conjugate beam method. Thank you.